Well, I think every parent's had that moment where your kid says something in public, usually a bad word, and everybody's looking at you and you're like, no, why now? I promise I didn't teach him this, or maybe I did. What did your kid say in public that caused everybody to stare? Comment below, and Jade Eagleson will share his story with you this week in the Country Music Update. I'm Greg Reynolds. First, we continue Stampede Week here in Calgary with talking to some of the Nashville North headliners, the biggest lineup ever at Nashville North, and it's all Canadian. This will be the James Barker Band's third time headlining, or playing at least, at the Calgary Stampede. One of their all-time best Stampede memories, how could it not be opening up for Tim McGraw at the Saddle Dome? And here's what you maybe didn't see or hear that happened backstage.
The one thing I do remember those when we first got there in our dressing room, I think they messed up and put our dressing room like next to his. And it took 5 minutes of us being just immature and loud. And I remember some people like, yeah, you guys got moved down the hall.
Oh no!
You just imagine Tim doing push-ups in the other room, like, who are these rowdy guys beside me? And can you just move them a little bit down the hall? It makes you feel like you're back in school, right? And you were the kid that talked too loud in class and you always got moved out to the hall. I feel like I can connect more with the James Barker Band side of that than the Tim McGraw side. Just a little more serious. Also, speaking of bands, you may have heard the news that Curtis is leaving High Valley. It's Curtis and Brad, they're brothers. Curtis decided to just pursue a different adventure and move back here to Alberta and be with his family. Now, this is the first time I've talked to Brad since that happened, and he told us that, listen, there's no backstory, there's no hard feelings, we didn't get in a massive brother brawl. Here is the full story behind Curtis leaving High Valley.
You know, you put out a press release and everybody reads it and it sounds all sweet and good, but you think, is that really what happened? Or is there some juicy, gossip or bad? But it's really exactly what happened. His wife's family moved back to Canada. They have a golden opportunity to be in one town with both grandparents for their three kids, in the same town. And it's beautiful. They really want to do that. And move back to Lacrete where we're from. And I'm very happy for him. My family is very happy for him. My parents are thrilled, and I'm just the one boy that refuses to move back home and keep traveling around doing this High Valley thing. So I'm pumped about it. We're happy. He's happy. His family's happy. So it works out good for everybody.
How did the original conversation happen? Because I know it happened sort of, he was sort of saying like during COVID, he sort of realized that this might be an opportunity. How does he come to you? Is it a text saying, I'm out? Does he come over and drop down a bag of Smarties and say, listen, I think you're going to need these? Or like what?
No, you know what happened? And I'm not like a fortune teller or anything like that, but his wife's family were missionaries in South America ever since Curtis, joined the band in Nashville, like in a more full-time role. And so we got an email from her family saying, we've decided to move back to Lacrete. And I told my wife, I said, any day now we're getting a call from Curtis. And sure enough, it was 2 days later that we get the call from Curtis and Miranda, and they say, hey, we'd love to have you guys over for dinner. And so it's not that weird that they would have us over for dinner, but we kind of knew that, this was it just felt a little fancier when he invited us over. So when he started kind of sweating bullets and trying to tell us the news, I already knew, he was very sweet about it. He was very, excited, but nervous and all that stuff. But we actually 99.9% knew what he was about to tell us.
Because there was Smarties on the table at the end of dinner?
Yeah.
I just need. And finally, what did your kids say in public that had everybody turning to look at you? Jade Eagleson shared a story with us this week about his son Levi saying probably the worst word, one of the worst 4-letter words in public.
Well, I was building like a vocal booth or whatever for my studio, and you know how when you're building things you drop every word whatever in the book, and then even stuff outside of the book. But anyways, I was like downstairs or whatever after that, and then he's going up the stairs, and I'm just, thank God Marina didn't hear this, but like he's at the stairs and he drops something, and and I was like, oh no. just clear as day. And actually he did it again. We went to get his tetanus shot, and we're in the clinic, and you know how you have to wait 15 minutes after you get the shot. So I was in there, and he was staying, because like eventually we just ignored him, didn't give him a reaction, and then everything was fine. But like we were in the clinic, and all these like dads were in there just like hanging out. It was like a dad day. Everyone took their kid to get vaccinated or whatever that day. And then he just said it clear as day. You could tell, I felt the shame in the room. Like everyone just looked at me like I was just this horrid parent. They're like,
No.
I was like, I tried to fix it. I was like, truck? You mean truck?
Now, if you want to watch those full interviews, just mouse around on this YouTube page. There are some great stories from everybody you would have seen at Stampede this year, from the Washboard Union to Robert Onalini to Dean Brody to Brett Kissel. It just goes on and on and on. And I encourage you to go watch them because they were fun. I love talking to these people. Until next time, I'm Greg Reynolds with another Country Music Update.